Welcome back to Chow Time Pods. Your host Red. I got a video today from Wonny. More China stuff.
What are you looking at? Oh, I've just got a lot on my mind. And this mind has no wrinkles.
So
recently in China, having a bigger forehead has become the new influencer aesthetic.
Which is funny because here in the United States, we call people five heads for it.
People are going into beauty clinics to get this pill-shaped filler called baby forehead injections injected into their foreheads. And then they start physically molding your face to get the shape that you want. What? It was easy, fast, flexible, and gave people that cuter...
How does that look cuter? Looks like you literally got bumped on the noggin.
...forehead aesthetic. Except... months later, random bumps start growing and your forehead starts getting bigger and bigger, protruding outward. And if you try pushing it back in yourself, it'll start multiplying. And
is this AI?
That's how millions of people started ending up with the so-called bubble forehead effect. Yes, the bubble saga continues, but this one might be the worst one, especially because...
How many bubble face things are they gonna do to themselves?
Because you can go blind from it.
That
now,
makes
this
sense.
all started because having a rounder and fuller forehead started becoming a beauty.
A round forehead? Do I have that? Like, what the fuck are they talking about?
Who would have thought?
There's so many little quips and quirks of, like, people's looks. Man, people are just so on it about these things.
Having a bigger forehead is now a trend. It used to be the opposite.
Yeah,
recently,
seriously.
The full forehead aesthetic has been going viral on Douyin because having a fuller forehead is associated with looking younger, more beautiful, and healthier.
How? How?
It also gives the face a more warmer and pleasant appearance. Influencers called this having a cuter forehead, which is associated with looking younger. The forehead is also a part of the face that reflects somebody's thoughts, emotions, and spirit. In Chinese culture, having a well-developed...
So mine's like super wrinkly and like what are they talking about?
...forehead will give you wisdom and health, and also fortune.
Is that why I'm dumb?
And possibly your credit score. While a flatter forehead can make your face lack definition, and it's also associated with you looking more angry, more intimidating, and...
I definitely have that flat one. Yeah, I definitely look angry all the time.
Can actually affect your future luck. I mean, in China, many places actually require you to take a photo of yourself before you apply for a job. And if you match that beauty aesthetic, chances are you'll get the position. Damn, should have invested more points into my forehead. And for those who believe that their forehead was too flat, forehead fillers had become the perfect solution to create a cuter and fuller shape.
Bruh.
They call it the baby forehead aesthetic because it gives you a younger forehead. Now, the goal was just a small change, a little bump on your forehead to give you that S-shaped side profile. The goal is not supposed to look like you've got a lot on your mind. And this is where it gets pretty wild, especially in the way they perform these injections, because...
Again, the whole molding it the way they were doing it with the empty syringe, they didn't even have a special tool or anything. It was just like, what the hell are you even doing?
It is not no regular injection. No, there's an extra step. They physically use their hands and mold your face. First, you either choose forehead fillers, such as hyaluronic acid, my best friend. Or, if you want even longer results, you get fat taken from another part of your body. Either way, the doctor doesn't...
So now we're BBLing our faces? Is that what I'm hearing now? Like, China people are BBLing their foreheads. Getting fat from somewhere else and injecting it into their foreheads. Did they realize that's not how you do BBLs?
Just simply inject one tiny spot and then magically your forehead becomes perfectly round. No, they inject the filler into your forehead to create this pill-shaped mold inside your forehead tissue. And when I say pill-shaped, I mean your forehead can literally look like there's this long rounded capsule sitting underneath your skin. Like somebody took a giant pill and then implanted it in you. The doctor then starts physically using their hands to mold your forehead.
Yeah, how can you get a good result or a consistent result doing this?
They press on the area with their fingers, spreading it, squeezing it, pushing it so that it's carved exactly to how you like it. And I'm sorry, but visually, this is wild because
This does not
you're
look
literally
good.
sculpting your forehead like a clay pot. Oh, I see now. It's just a new form of art, using your forehead as a canvas to create something gray, something beautiful, something that'll start growing. Now, the goal is to distribute that filler, so instead of remaining in that concentrated pill-shaped mold, the filler should become more evenly spread across the forehead. Then, as the area settles, the filler is supposed to absorb into the tissue to give you that more fuller appearance, so you'll get that job interview. And remember what these injections were
Is that why I've never been getting any job interviews?
promoted for? Foreheads that weren't full enough, or protruding outward enough, or have wrinkles. The hyaluronic acid was supposed to add,
As much as we say, women do crazy things to themselves, society does crazy things to them too. Just like this, what he said, right? If she met the aesthetic of the photo, then she would get the job. If she doesn't, then she doesn't. So I can see when jobs are requiring certain aesthetics as that, yeah, then you're going to do what it needs to do to get the job.
add volume underneath the skin and smooth out areas to get that baby forehead aesthetic that everyone wanted. Except months later, people started ending up getting these random bumps on their forehead, almost as if something was living inside and moving around. And what does any normal person do when they see that? They start molding it again and squeezing it back into place themselves. They start pressing on it and trying to flatten out the bumps, and that makes it even worse because it starts irritating the reaction and your forehead just starts growing and protruding outwards. This is how people started ending up with the bubble forehead effect. The foreheads don't just start growing and protruding because of counterfeit fillers. Basically, even just a slight bit of extra filler injected can make it start reacting due to the blood vessels inside of your head. You push the bump
I guess that makes sense.
to one side and then another bump comes out the other. And unfortunately, the bumps are just the beginning. See, these injections were marketed as baby forehead injections for that baby face aesthetic. But many of these beauty clinics started secretly adding this material called polylactic acid to save money and speed up procedures. This is a form of plastic that's used in 3D printing and food packaging. And what makes this scarier is that some of these doctors think that these bumps are simply due to the fact that there wasn't enough filler in the first place, because it's uneven. So when people go back, they inject more to balance out the bumps. And then they do the same thing. They start molding it together. So fix the problem with the problem. Why are we sending reinforcements? And that cycle eventually leads to millions of people having these extreme.
This is just exactly how people get like 3 BBLs, 3 liposuctions and all these things, because the first time it didn't work out right.
Extremely bloated foreheads. Even celebrities weren't safe from this. The Chinese actress Huang Yi was once filming a C-drama, and that's when netizens noticed there was a big dent on her forehead. And Huang Yi later posted pictures revealing 2 dents on her forehead, which she got from pressing down the forehead filler after it started growing. It's a lose-lose situation. You either let the bumps start growing bigger and bigger, or you press onto them and you end up with dents. Take a look at Miss Lang, a 38-year-old woman from Huanggang. She one day basically woke up, saw herself in the mirror, and saw wrinkles on her forehead, which she thought was making her appear older. Then she heard that hyaluronic acid could remove or reduce those wrinkles. So she started looking into getting the treatment, and at first, she actually consulted several local hospitals. Meaning, initially, she was actually looking at these legit medical professionals. But there was one problem. The price.
Of course.
You see, Chinese aunties don't just bargain for street food. We bargain for our healthcare. She discovered that a single injection at those qualified hospitals would cost around $300 to $400. And for Miss Lang, that was too expensive. So a friend of hers recommended her to a beauty studio. And you already know exactly where this is going. This beauty studio had a significantly cheaper option. Employees at the studio showed Miss Lang a bottle of medication and told her that it consisted of imported injections. From where? We don't know. Maybe our girl Wang Jing would know, and her clone factory might have them, actually. So the price? $80. What a bargain. So she got the injection, went home, and the following morning, she looked at her forehead and there were 5 massive bumps. So she let it settle for a while, and at first it did look like it disappeared. During this interview, she didn't have anything on her face. But literally just a couple months after, it came fighting back, and much
Damn.
stronger this time. The entire area on her forehead had become a large bump and it started growing outward. At this point, Miss Lang rushed to a hospital in Wuhan to seek medical treatment, and the doctors there believed that Miss Lang had actually been injected with a medication or substance of unknown origin. So even the doctors
Damn,
could
they
not
didn't even
determine
like, what the
what
fuck
had
is
actually
this?
been injected, and mind you, it's only been a couple months. Whatever substance had been used had triggered a rejection reaction, causing extreme bumps to grow out of her head. And now she has to constantly go outside with a face covering, all because of a couple wrinkles on her forehead. They also reported how most low-cost beauty salons have a 75% chance or higher of using counterfeit products.
75%? Yeah, guys. Don't be doing shit in China. Especially if it's a good deal.
Clinics attracting customers using cheaper prices will inevitably use cheaper materials. I mean, how else are you going to balance out your profits?
That makes sense.
And counterfeit products are only one possible explanation for these failed cases, because even with proper hyaluronic acid fillers, the amount you inject, the placement, the distribution, all of that matters. Overfilling or improper molding with your hands can easily make the forehead start protruding outward. You can't just go, all right, little more over here, a little more over there, and okay, perfect. Also, forehead fillers are not fixed. Chances are it'll deform, it'll start moving around, gravity will affect it, even your sleeping position will. So when you're freestyling on someone's forehead and molding it with your hands, you're pretty much taking a gamble on what's gonna happen in a couple months. Scratch that. It can actually come back to haunt you in a couple decades. There was a woman whose fillers started protruding out her forehead 30 years after the injection. Yeah, 30 years. Back in 1996. I don't even want to know what materials they were experimenting with back then.
Seriously.
We're already getting these bubble cases right now. And this is where it gets really bad, because recently a new side effect has been popping up, and it's probably one of the worst ones. Bumps, dents, bubble foreheads, okay, yeah, those are bad. But what if it starts affecting your eyes? This starts getting significantly more serious because your face has blood vessels and your forehead has a lot of them. And a lot of those are connected to your eyes. Which brings us to the most severe case of a forehead injection. A woman who walked into a cosmetic clinic wanting a cuter forehead, and then she went permanently blind. Recently, cases of blindness have been spreading everywhere because many of these unqualified professionals are accidentally injecting into a blood vessel, which causes blockage to your brain. This was a 25-year-old woman who visited a cosmetic clinic for injections to make her forehead fuller. The clinic was located in Xinyi district, and the treatment she received was packaged as the elf needle. Don't even ask me why it's called that. First baby forehead injection and now elf needle. If they ever make one for the guy downstairs, I'm folding. Now this woman wanted her forehead to look more fuller and rounder, and you can see that there are multiple needle marks across the left side of her forehead. Like a lot of marks. And during the injection, she had her eyes closed. While the doctor was working on her left side, suddenly she sees a flash of light in her left eye. No pain at all. But when she opened her eye, everything was completely black. She immediately told the doctor and
damn, it was like a light bulb that just
nurse what had happened, and they later found out that they injected the filler into a blood vessel, which caused a blockage. The clinic then rushed her into an emergency room, and the hospital said that she suffered an eye stroke. They diagnosed her with central retinal artery occlusion. In other words, she became completely blind. What makes this entire story so disturbing is that this cosmetic clinic was licensed to do these procedures. Like, they weren't the cheap option, they were trustworthy, and they had the certificate. Damn. After she went blind from the injection, the clinic stated that the dispute had been handed over to their lawyers and that both sides were handling the matter legally. Also, the person in charge of the clinic and the doctor that was involved, no comment. And lately, all these failed cases of blindness due to injections started spreading rapidly. You see, there's just simply way too much
sadness. Like, do I feel sorry for these people? Yeah, somewhat. All right, people just want to look good. And I can't be upset at people for that, right? They want to look good. They want to look nice. It sucks, but you know, there's a balance. There's a balance of things.
many important structures going around in your forehead, which is what makes forehead injections one of the most dangerous places to actually get fillers done. I mean, the cycle is just terrifying because at first you get the forehead filler and you get a more rounder and slightly fuller forehead, then bumps start appearing, and then you get more to even out the bumps, then more bumps start appearing, you get more to even out the bumps until your forehead just starts protruding outward and you get that bubble forehead effect. And obviously these cosmetic procedures are sold through the success cases. One aesthetic starts trending, then influencers copy it, these clinics advertise it, and it's basically a beauty industry infinite money glitch. If there's one thing to take away from this, it's that, listen, your forehead might not be a baby forehead, okay? It might not have the maximum projection that you want. But unless you want somebody physically molding your forehead tissue and ending up with a 7:3 forehead ratio, embrace your original canvas.
You know, I could totally understand why people want to look better, want to look good. So it's hard to fully victim blame people that, oh, I want to, get my face look a little younger, I want my body a little bit more snatched or whatever it is. It's hard to fully blame them, right? Because everybody wants to look good, but it sucks that the consequences and the major consequences of a lot of these things are just so high, right? This is why we never recommend it, and we don't really want to deal with women that dealt with it because of shit like this. You don't know what's going to happen later, right? You don't know if bad things are going to happen, or her boobs are going to start leaking, or face is going to start melting or something. We don't know. Please like, subscribe, comment down below. I really appreciate that, and catch you guys next time. Ciao.